Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Yo Baby Daddy podcast, episode 8. And today we're taking a trip back in time and talking a bit about our past and our future plans for the podcast. Um, so yeah, let's kick it off, man. I wanted to touch a little bit on our history, man. As far as I remember, we met in
Yeah.
middle school, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know who you are, dude. No, I'm fucking with you. Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
met this man in my life.
Who is this? Where am I? Yeah,
Who are
dude.
these kids?
Yeah. We met in middle school, dude. In
Yeah,
sixth sixth grade. Sixth grade.
yeah. I think it was sixth grade.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I in elementary school, I didn't really have very many friends. I had maybe
Mhm.
like one or two friends, but it was like more like a classroom kind of friend. It wasn't until middle school where I really started like branching out and really started having friends. And
Yeah.
it was I know it was you, me, an old friend of ours named Marco, Juan.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it used to be the
Yeah.
four of us. It was it was different. It was I don't know. It was my first real taste of like friendship and stuff like that, and it was really how do I put it? I think you were one of the one people that really got me into video games, especially into like Halo and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember we used to go over to your house after school and kick it, play some Halo, and
Yeah.
used to whoop my ass in Street Fighter.
Dude, you love that game
Especially
for some reason. For some reason, you love that game. Like I don't know. Mm.
uh,
Um,
so, anyway.
I don't want it to sound mean or anything, but like, do you think that when you're stressed out or like when you kind of have like some anger going, shooting games
Mm,
actually kind of like make you feel a little better afterwards?
yes, very much. It's like I get to express the violence that I never get to do in real life.
Right? Like,
So
fuck this
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, dude. It's always been an outlet for me, which is it sounds bad, but if you play shooting games, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um
Also, it makes sense because like I rather do it there than do it like in either in real life or to somebody else, not to like to hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Like
I
take
mean
it
it's
out
a
there.
stress reliever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stress reliever. I mean, we get wound up from all the time and stuff, and
Hmm.
before that I never really got into video games. I mostly just played like maybe Pokemon on the Game Boy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um that's where I got into like the real shooters and stuff, and
Hmm.
I mean that's what really started my love for gaming, and
Yeah.
I haven't looked back since. So
Yeah. For anybody who's probably wondering like why either we don't have a guest today or as in like why are we talking about very different subjects than what we usually talk about, it's because we pretty much were like looking at our episodes and we're like, you know what, we only did episode 1 truly about just me and Pete, and then after
mm,
that we just been having guests on, which is great. But then we're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just kick it back with just be me and you. You know?
true. Yeah, it's we love having guests on and stuff, but at the same time, we really do want to explore our backgrounds and a lot of the things that we've done and been through, and
Mm-hmm.
telling our story as well for the podcast
Yeah.
and
Like when
yeah,
I met you, Pete, it was sixth grade. We were friends ever since there, and then you had to move from
yeah,
where you currently were to pretty much north from where you used to live.
yeah,
And that
yeah.
was it towards the end of 10th grade or was it in the middle of 10th grade? I know it was in the
It
beginning.
was no, so it was towards the middle of 10th grade actually. So I was going to what is it, Juarez Lincoln at the time, Juarez
Yes.
Lincoln High
Mhm.
School, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was like midway through 10th grade, and then my family decided to move, and they finalized the process, and we moved, and
Mhm.
we moved over here to Dallas. Thankfully, I didn't have to finish my 10th grade year, They just passed me to 11th grade, and I was like, oh, all right, cool,
The fuck?
that's
For
great.
real?
Yeah, I had
You had enough credits,
um
basically, or what?
yes, yeah, I had way more than enough credits. So yeah,
So,
um, I had yeah, dude, I had way more than enough credits to basically
hmm
just go to the next level, honestly.
yeah.
So when I came here, it was a weird experience. I lost connection with a lot of people coming up here. A lot of people stopped talking to me. Um, I kept in contact with a few people, you included.
hmm
But it was weird. It was like a
Yeah.
change of scenery, and then everybody just falls off. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, isn't it interesting that like when you're in high school, you do so many things, whether it's inside school and outside of school, and you talk to so many people, and you're
Hmm.
like, yeah, man, we're good friends or whatnot. But then once you leave high school, you're just pretty much like fuck everybody, and you just keep a very small few of them. Like besides you, I would have like two other people that I still talk to
Hmm.
that I knew from high school, and that's it.
Yeah, it's well, there's like a night and day contrast, honestly, because the people that I still talk to from South Texas is way smaller than the people that I talk to from Dallas that I went to high school with.
Mm-hmm.
And like the people that I went to high school with in Dallas, we formed like a friendship, more like a brotherhood, and we really try to stay in contact even after high school.
Yeah.
So like we would hang out like every weekend or every day or something like that. Plus we all really live close to each other, so that helps too. Um, but with South Texas, it was weird because like I move 8.5 hours away, and everybody just starts to disappear. Not everyone, but a good amount of people.
Yeah.
Um, there's maybe like two or three people that I still talk to from South Texas, and it's not that many. Most of them I just have them on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like old friends from high school and stuff, and you see what they're doing and stuff, but
Yeah.
not very many conversations.
Mm.
But it's good to see people.
Yeah. I know it feels like we're jumping all over the place, but I wanted to ask you, when you
Mm.
first became a dad, Pete, were you like a
Yeah,
little scared or were you kind of like happy? Because I
I
know
was fucking
you,
shitting my pants.
because you
I
were a
was
dad.
18.
You were 18, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was 18 when my son was born, but like finding out when I was 17,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, dude, I was shitting my pants. I was scared.
Yeah, that's true. But
Basically.
someone just said where most people you come in contact in life are usually become acquaintance, especially if they're on your
Yeah.
good side. They just become acquaintance, and then if you
Yeah.
actually
I mean,
why
it
would
it's true. I mean, um, I mostly see relationships now as like kind of like a tree. Some people are branches. Some stick around for a little while longer than others,
uh
but
huh
most of the time they fall off. What you're really looking for is like, like roots. It's people
mm-hmm.
that are going to stick around and actually, help the tree grow.
Damn
So,
Pete getting
yeah.
philosophical in here. Damn.
No, I got that from fucking from freaking Medea
Wait,
movie or something like
what?
that. Yeah, I
A
got that from a
Medea
Medea movie.
movie?
Yeah, yeah, Tyler Perry. Yeah,
Oh
dude,
shit. Mm.
from the least likely. It was weird, but it was
I've
a
My
no
girl
good.
loves those movie. My girls love those movies, and I don't see that many of them. I've only seen like probably three of.
Yeah,
They probably have like 10 of them.
I was watching some of his older stuff, and it was like a Broadway kind of thing, and it
Okay.
was it was early on when he was first adapting the character, and he was talking about you know people being like branches on a tree,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh crap! And basically, the whole thing is like some people are in your life for a reason, some people are in your life for a season. So
Yeah. Sounds about right.
very much. But going back to what you were saying, when I was about to become a father, yeah, I
hmm
was very nervous because for one, I'm 17. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and then
Yeah.
on top of that, I'm getting a job, figuring out what we're gonna do for as far as preparing for the baby.
Yeah.
Clothes, diapers, all these things. Thankfully, we had a good support system with my family and her family, and then her family showing us the ropes and really teaching us how to really care for a baby. It
Yeah.
was It was a crazy time, dude. And but I
Did you ever
was
freak out
shocked.
like when the baby was crying for a long time the first time?
Mm, no. I've always loved babies. I've always loved kids. I've just always loved kids. I don't mind them crying. What was hard for me was distinguishing between what the cries were.
Uh huh.
So like like moms know, like, oh, he's hungry. Oh, he pooped. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
he wants to go out of the room or something. So I never had that in the beginning. So like I had to like learn those things. Like, okay,
Yeah.
it's been like 2 or 3 hours. He's hungry. Or, gotta check his diaper, stuff like that. Like stuff
Yeah.
that I never thought about, you know,
Mhm.
especially being a young father. It was but I didn't mind the crying. I just hated not knowing what to do, you know. But I adapted really quickly.
Yeah. Some people are probably gonna get mad about this, but I feel like sometimes the whole mothers know when the kid pooped or not. It's more like tossing a coin. You have
I
very low choices of what it's gonna happen or like what the kid needs. That you kind of like,
I I basically trained my nose. I'm like a bloodhound, so like I can smell poop from a mile away, and I can also smell if they've peed. So
hmm
like I know, like I'm just like literally I'm just you peed type of shit.
fucking
Like it's weird, I know, but
you
it works. It
you
works.
you became a tracker or something.
Fucking works, dude. 3 kids. That's how I know, man. I'm a
Yeah,
tracker of poop.
that's hilarious, dude. Um, I remember the first time my kid pooped on me, dude. That was fucking
Oh
crazy. I was like,
yeah,
oh, what the fuck?
yeah. It's first time it happened to me. My son peed on me,
hmm
and then the time that he pooped on me, I was literally changing his diaper, and then as I'm changing his diaper, he poops again, and I don't have a diaper ready, so I didn't have the spare diaper underneath him, so
Yeah,
I'm like trying to catch it before it hits the bed. So I'm
yeah.
like ah. So yeah, it was
Sh-
it was funny.
There was one time, our daughter, the oldest one,
Hmm.
we were going to the mall with
Hmm.
it was my girl's best friend and her cousin.
Hmm.
And this is the time where we lived in San Antonio.
Hmm.
And we were going to the store, right? And all of a sudden, we just hear like, like when someone has diarrhea and they poop, and you hear it. It's like
Yeah.
slushy, gurgly in a way, right? Well, we just hear that, and I kid you not, Pete. We just hear that for like 30 seconds straight, and we're like, "Oh, fuck!" And then that stank came in, dude. That whiff. That's just the first wave comes in, right?
Oh.
So here so here we are. I was driving. My girl was next to me, and then her best friend and her cousin were like in another vehicle. Thank God. And then it was my kid in the back in the car seat.
Mhm.
And it was we're hearing all this, we're whiffing it out and everything. We go and park, right?
Mhm.
Excuse me. We go and park, and it's a van, so we go open the sliding door, right?
Mhm.
We check up on her, and I tell her, babe, while she was trying to like take her off from the car seat, like how it's
Mhm.
like the chest piece and then like
Mhm.
the middle section area.
Mhm.
I tell her, look, baby, look at her socks and shoes. It was the color of the diarrhea, dude. So we
Mhm.
take her off, dude, and like fr- from from the
Mhm.
from the waist all the way down, it was poop. Even on the freaking car mat was poop.
Mhm.
It was bad, dude. Some of it even came up, so like it touched the shirt. So literally, we were unprepared.
Mhm.
We only had supplies to clean her, but we didn't have a change of clothes.
Mhm.
And holy shit, dude, it was nasty.
Literally, literally, holy shit.
Yes, it was nasty. It smelled bad. I remember
Yeah.
my girl's best friend and her cousin. They were like, "What the fuck?" I think at some point my girl's best friend's cousin, she said, "Ah, fuck that. I ain't having kids."
Damn.
Dude, I think we scared her that day. It was just so much shit. So
Yeah.
we only had like a white blanket type of thing. So it looked like my kid was wearing a toga. It
Mm.
it looked like my kid was wearing a toga. So we take her inside the store. I think it was like Old Navy, and to buy clothes. And then since you know how Old Navy only carries to a certain size, obviously they can't carry everything.
Yeah.
Well, my first kid was real small. She was real petite. So
Mhm.
everything that was there was like super huge for her. So
Mhm.
we just had to end up buying her like oversized clothes. But she looked
Mm.
funny, and it's that van stank up, dude, for a long
Mhm.
time. I don't know if this ever happened to you, but it fucking sucked, dude, because we're on the road. Uh,
Yeah. So I had that happen to me with my oldest son, and that's what really taught me to carry extra clothes in the car,
yep.
especially like extra diapers, extra wipes, and stuff like that. Like I carry a whole pack of wipes with me. I don't do that little travel size kit, whatever. No, no, I don't do
No.
that. I do the whole pack.
Mhm.
So like that happened to me with my son, right? And it was just me and him. So like I had picked him up from his mom's or
Yeah.
his grandma's or whatever, and he poops everywhere.
Yeah.
Similar situation. He poops himself, and then it goes up his back, and then whole car seat covered in poop, and it's so bad. So I took him out of the car seat, right? And thankfully, I had a whole pack of water bottles. So I was literally unscrewing tops and like literally giving him a bath right there, and then trying to wash down the freaking car seat as much as I can. And I took the whole whatchamacallit off, the cushions and stuff. I
Yeah.
took
Yeah.
all that off.
Yeah. The first thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took all that off, and I had a spare blanket. So I tucked the blanket underneath that, and I still had the buckles and everything, and I was able to clean that off enough. And then it's funny because if we rode back to my house, and he was just naked, just the whole ride. He was just naked, and finally finally got back to my house, and I gave him a bath and everything. And then once the bath was done, I had spare clothes with him, at the house, and then come outside, and then I have to rewash the freaking car seat off thoroughly this time, not with a water bottle, and had to throw the cover into the freaking wash and stuff, and it was just bad. But
Dude.
yeah, that'll make you rethink some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you be like, you know what? I'm gonna pack this time like properly. Like, so
Yeah.
now it's like we have extra clothes, and it's not even like one or two. We'll bring like four changes for each one, so just in case we have like backup, and we'll have pretty much everything. The one thing that I fucking hated, and then you pretty much said it as well, is the freaking car seat. You know how you pretty much already know it fucking sucks cleaning that thing,
Mhm. Yeah,
especially
it's like you
when they
gotta
have diarrhea, like how you said. It
mhm.
fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, it really sucks. It's bad because it is hard as hell to take that damn cover off because you have to take all the buckles off and everything,
Yep.
and then undo them, and then take the cover off, and then re-put the buckles on without the cover on. And then normally you would just leave the buckles alone, but
Mm.
I still had to drive him. I still had to drive him home,
Yeah.
so I had to put the buckles back on. You know, thankfully I had that blanket, and then unfortunately he had to ride naked. But we weren't that far from the house. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that thing sucked, dude. It was bad. I remember one time we had just got him a new car seat, right?
Yeah.
And he liked to hold the whenever we would go out to eat, he would hold the Coke or whatever. So we go to
Mm.
McDonald's, right? We get some double cheeseburgers, whatever. He'd hold the large Coke, right? And he used to love holding it, and he used to love like hogging it or whatever. And so this one time, he squeezes it too hard and it spills all over him. It's a brand new car seat, mind you. And I'm just like, damn it. And I was like, I don't know how to take this thing apart. So like, I'm not mad that he spilled the soda. I'm mad that I
Yeah.
gotta take it apart. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. And then some of them
So
have like
freaking hard.
holes in the bottom for like I guess so the kid can be like not hot and shit. So if you spill
Yeah.
liquids on there, it just goes straight through.
Yeah.
And then now
True.
you got your actual seat fucking all wet. Yeah, fucking. They've gotten better, Pete. I've seen some of the newer ones, and they've gotten better as to like how to remove them. It's still pain in the
Mm.
ass, but they've gotten better. Because I know like the older ones, like not only were
Yeah.
they hard, but you had to like do certain steps before you could remove like a single piece. So you're just
Yeah.
there like
Mhm.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, they have gotten better. I mean, my 3-year-old is still in a car seat right now, and
Uh
they've gotten a lot better, dude. Especially like the one that his mom has.
huh.
Dude, that thing is like he's had that since he was like shit, man, like 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
He's had the same fucking car seat, and it's just like really, it's just adjustable to the point where it's like, he can basically sit in any position now. And dude, that thing has gone through hell and back, dude. Like him spilling drinks, him pooping
Yeah.
himself to dude, that thing is great, dude. I fucking love that car seat, dude.
Dude, someone
And I
just
was
said one time. Sorry to cut you off real quick.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Someone said one time my daughter was in the back seat of the car seat, and all of a sudden projectile vomit reached the radio. That's how fucking
Uh,
far the vomit was.
I've never had to deal with vomit in a car, thankfully.
Same,
Uh, I've had to deal with it like
and I've had to deal with
while
it in
we're
the
eating.
bed, yeah, and
I've
eating.
had to
Yeah.
deal with it while we're eating. Yeah. My son was like, I don't feel so good. And then, like,
Oh
dude,
shit.
he- dude, I couldn't believe how much vomit there was inside one kid, dude. It was so
Mhm.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Uh,
crazy. My daughter has this thing where she doesn't like whenever she gets like runny mucus, she doesn't
yeah.
like that I guess sensation or effect or whatever. So
Yeah.
she gets asco real quick. She gets
Mhm.
grossed out and then she'll freaking vomit. She will vomit right away.
Oh,
We
God.
learned that. We learned that the hard way. Cause every time it would be like that. It would be like, oh, we know she's gonna vomit. We have to like. We learned that the first time because we were there in the
Mm.
bed, and then she was all like, "Oh, the boogers," and we're like, "Well, we're just like try to clean you, right? We're trying to clean her and everything." We just
Yeah.
hear and then we're like, "What?" Bleh. I was like, "No, the bed. What the fuck?" And then we're just there like, "Fuck, this one doesn't have the cover for the wetness." You know, talking about the one for you get for the
Yeah.
pee. We're like, "Fuck, this one doesn't have it." So there you got big ass fucking stain on your personal mattress that you and your girl sleep in. Like, fuck.
Mm.
Yeah. So now we learn that whenever she gets sick like that,
Mhm.
she sleeps close to the edge of the bed, not our bed obviously, but like close to the edge of the bed. And then
Mhm.
if we hear her, like automatically we just like push her head like away from the mattress, like vomit in the floor on the floor. We can clean that up. Uh,
Damn. That's true. That's true, though. You can definitely clean it up on the floor easier than a bed.
yeah. Poop on
Uh,
poop on the bathtub or the shower, Pete. You ever done that? We had to scrape it up because they fucking pooped.
mm, I can't remember which kid did it, honestly. I can't remember if it was my daughter or my son. The little one right now has never done that. Um, fuck. I think it was my son. I think that happened, but it was like it wasn't when he was a toddler. It was when he was a baby. So we
Yeah.
had that little tub thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like we were giving him a bath, and as we're giving him a bath, he poops. So it's
Oh.
like there's a little bit of water in there, so it's like a little tub, and then like
Mm-hmm.
he's like having the time of his life, and you just hear him just, and he just pooped right in the middle. It's like, ah, damn it, you gotta start
so,
this thing all over again.
so there
So
was, so there was this theory. Obviously, it wasn't true. We were just messing around. That we had this theory that my youngest daughter, she wouldn't break in a a bathtub until she pooped on it because every single other bathtub, whether it was at my parents' house, at
hmm
her both grandma's houses, anywhere we would go, if she hadn't pooped there, she hadn't truly blessed it or whatever you want to call it.
christened it, yeah.
So one time we were in a new place. I forgot where exactly we were. I think it was like at my girl's mom's new place that she had, and me and my girl were like, "Damn, babe, she hasn't pooped on on this one." They're like, "Yeah, right." And all of a sudden, I forgot who went to go check. I think it was like my girl's mom. She's all like, "Hey, can we told her like, hey, can you check on the girls? They're in the shower." It was like shallow water. It was like about an inch or two. You know, we're scared just in case they would like fall so they don't choke or like whatever, right? She's like,
Hmm.
"Oh my god!" So when she go check, she's like, "Oh my god!" We're like, "Oh fuck, something happened. Like someone got hurt or something, right?" We were nearby, but we didn't hear anything. So we're like, "What the fuck? How did we miss it?"
Hmm.
And then we run over there, dude. The water looked like swamp water. She freaking had diarrhea in the bathtub, dude. So you see little floaters there, and like, oh, I was like, oh no, and Yolina's like, ah. So we take her out and shit. We took out the other one, and then like me and my girl look at each other, and she's like, "Can you, babe?" And I'm like, "Fuck." And then I'm like, I better get late for this shit. Then I go and start cleaning it up. Dude, it was a lot of shit. Oh my god, that's nasty.
Um. Yeah. I mean, of so okay. So my thing with shit is I'm at my third kid now. It doesn't fucking affect me now. Honestly, I'm like pretty much bulletproof to it, to the point where like um when I was having to deal with my grandfather and having to change his diaper and stuff,
Yeah.
I was it was fucking easy, honestly. It was actually way easier than freaking kids, because like kids is like most of the time it's not even solid,
Yeah.
especially when they're little babies.
Mhm.
Dude, just I don't know. We're born into a diaper. We go out in a diaper. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay,
Mhm.
cool. But it's not that bad. Unless some people are like, like, oh, that makes me never want to have kids. It's like, okay, well, that's you, man. But it's
Yeah.
not that bad. It's really not that bad. It's only when you see those kids that you ever seen those pictures where kids are playing with the doo doo and they're putting it on the walls and stuff. That that is not okay.
Yeah.
That is a whole
That's.
new that is a whole new level of evil. We're
Yeah.
not gonna. Mm-mm.
Oh man.
I don't know how we got on this subject. We've just been talking about doo doo nonstop.
Yeah, I was about to say. I, was, I was about to tell you like, yo, I got another poo story, but I don't think people want to hear poo fucking stories the
No,
whole
we-
time we're here. No, no,
no
no, no.
more.
I want to move from that. Well, actually, someone had mentioned something on the chat, and I want to bring it up because it actually happened to us too, where they said that they thought they strapped their child to the car seat right, and then like
Mhm,
they take that first good turn at a street,
mhm,
and the freaking kid is like laying sideways, like oh shit, dad. That happened to
mhm,
me, but it was partially, it was both our faults because I should have checked, but basically my girl sometimes forgets certain things, right? So I
mhm,
was doing the car seat, and then she's like, "Hey, I need you to do this and this and that." And I'm like, "All right, fine. We'll finish this, and I'll go do it," because it was like heavy, so she couldn't lift it. She's like, "Okay." So I don't know what, and she was doing other stuff too. So I guess she got distracted or something, and she forgot to tell me that she didn't strap the kid. She only strapped the kid from one side, but not the other. You know how it has like two hooks in the bottom, like like when you gotta strap it to the car seat, where you gotta strap it to the seat.
yeah.
Yeah, and where the belt clips around there. Yeah, well, we only clipped one side,
Mhm,
and then she had clipped the back side. So
okay.
so it's supposed to be like for anyone that's never done a car seat, it's basically like a V in the bottom. It's hooked here, and then it's one on top in the back. Well, only one of the sides is hooked in the bottom, and then the back's hooked. So we're going right. I forgot where we're going, and we're just going. And then I take a turn, and my child's fine because that's the part where she was strapped in. And then it was, I think we were like in a part where it's not like the highway, but it's an area where it curves. So I was going like 50, 55. Texas has high speed limits, so that was like normal. And I was going, and then I turned the other direction where she wasn't strapped, and my kid just basically did a 180, dude. Like she didn't
Mhm.
go sideways because it was hooked in the back, so she just did like a 180. And then my girls are like, "Oh, Zola's facing the wrong way." And I'm like, "What do you mean the wrong way?" And then I look back, and she's like, basically, she's supposed to be staring at me. She was like this, like the seat's right behind me. She was like this. She was like this.
God damn it.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" I had to like,
God damn.
I had to put on my emergencies, stop on the side of the road, and then I was like, "What the fuck? I thought you strapped her." She's like, "I forgot." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Mm,
That shit was hilarious. She dropped her juice, by the way. That was funny.
damn.
Yeah. Kids falling off the car seat. I don't know if that ever happened to you, but it happened to me a couple of times.
It's it hasn't happened because of me. My shit's usually pretty secured. Even if
Mhm.
even when it's not secured, they
Yeah.
don't do like a full 180.
Mhm.
Um, I try to get as tight as I can. Sometimes that doesn't
Mhm.
work out all the way,
Yeah.
but most of the time they're usually in place. There's maybe a little sway. Um, Worst time it ever happened. I think I had to borrow a car seat from somebody else because like I
Mhm.
had lent mine to my baby mama,
Mhm.
and I had to borrow a car seat. I can't remember whose car seat it was. It might have been her mom or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to this car seat, so like it was weird. So I'm like trying to put it together and trying to strap it down. I was like, okay, I guess that's fine. So I'm like, and it wasn't my vehicle either.
Mhm.
So like, I think it was her mom's vehicle or something. I can't remember, but like,
Yeah.
I put the kids in, and then my son at the time was already old enough to not be in a car seat. My daughter was in it, and I'm driving around, and same thing. I hit a good turn, and then
Uh-huh.
make that turn, and then the car seat just fucking just lays flat, just flat, like
What the fuck?
fucking horizontal. I'm like, what the fuck? As soon as I hear it, I stop, pull over to the side of the road. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And apparently the back one wasn't clipped all the way. The bottom one was.
Oh, okay.
But like the top one, the one that secures
Mhm.
it all, wasn't clipped on right, and it
Mhm.
just gone. So it just fucking
Yeah.
laid over. It's like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Pete, you know which car seats I fucking hate now that my one of my kids is old enough?
The
And
booster,
the booster seats. Oh my god.
fucking shit.
Dude, okay, so my oldest one is the one that's using it.
Hmm.
I'll explain why the youngest one doesn't, even though she meets all the requirements by law. You know how they're like, this is supposed to be a certain weight and whatnot, or a certain height.
Hmm.
But anyways,
Hmm.
so my oldest one is the one that has the booster seat,
Hmm.
and the reason I hate that thing is because we drive long distances where we gotta go, whether it's going to see my parents or we're gonna go see my girl's parents, right?
Hmm.
And especially when we're trying to go see her mom, my girl's mom, it's a long, long distance. It's like about a 3 hour and a half trip,
Hmm.
and my kids sometimes fall asleep. Not all the time, but sometimes they fall asleep. So the first time we got this, dude, I felt bad for her, dude, and I try to correct it by doing something. I'll tell you, but basically, my kid was sleepy,
Hmm.
and and she was like trying to figure out like how to go to sleep.
Hmm.
So she ended up going to sleep like this, like just
Okay.
like bending her fucking neck. Like I don't know if you ever seen them the the Haunting of Bly Manor or whatever. You never seen that show on Netflix, the horror show? Okay, well basically the whole point of that show is there's like a lady that's like her has her neck bent, and that's like
Okay.
a reoccurring thing. My
Yeah.
child's neck was like that fucking lady's neck. Like it was so bent so bad that we felt bad, and I was telling my girls like, look, and she's like, oh my god, she's trying to put pillows on her, like try to level her out, and well, that booster seat is only at the bottom, so it doesn't cover the sides like a
Yeah.
regular car seat.
Hmm.
That thing's like a freaking racing car seat. You're not going anywhere with that, especially if you're
Yeah.
strapped
It's
in
pretty
right.
shitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking shitty. Um, we had I had this thing for my daughter for it was like for the seatbelt, and it
Yeah.
was like this cushion or whatever. Because my daughter would fall asleep to fucking anything.
Mhm.
And so we had this like pillow thing for like the seatbelt,
Yeah. Yeah.
so she would sleep like that, but you'd still get the same thing where she's like
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking neck bent and shit, and it's just like, ah, crap.
Yeah.
I hate those car seats so goddamn much.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a little cushion for the
Yeah.
for the strap thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, my daughter doesn't like laying on that because supposedly that it makes you feel uncomfortable or something. And I'm like, that's your best choice you got.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
you
like that's all you got, kid.
I was like, either that or you go back to the regular car seat, but she doesn't like being in the regular car seat because she feels claustrophobic. And it's like, all right, there is no in between. All right, we haven't discovered it. We've gone to the moon, but we've never figured this shit out.
Yeah, there's unfortunately no in between.
Yeah.
There's either a regular car seat. Thankfully, the one that we have for our 3-year-old has been really, really good.
Uh huh.
But this, it was the evolution of car seats up until this point. Um, the one that we have for our son, for our little one, is a lot better, just
Uh
because
huh.
it can like change positions.
Uh
So
huh.
like, at first it was like this, and then now it kind of sits like this to where he can like, actually like sit up. So it's actually really good. I'm dreading the day he has to go to a booster because I hate booster seats.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah,
They're
I'm really
not
good.
good for long trips, dude. And
No,
now what
not
we
at all.
do with long trips, we have to pack like 5 or 6 pillows. So
Mm,
and then since we have a van, there's like a big gap. So there's like basically like this is the door right here.
yeah.
This is the door, and then it's like wide, like a 1.5 foot distance. So we have to stuff that area with pillows, and then
Mm,
she can like lean on it now. But it's just too much planning for that. We tried getting her the airplane pillow, the one that goes in the back that looks
mm,
like a freaking toilet seat,
mm-hmm.
but she don't
Yeah,
like
those
that.
work. Oh, I mean, they work for adults, but not for kids.
The only time she'll keep it on is the only time she'll keep it on is when she's already like dead asleep, and then we'll put it on her. That's the only time. But then when she like wakes up, she'll like take it off right away.
Damn.
Or we told her what I remember the first time we bought it for her. It was like, fuck, I don't have anything to like. Oh, I kind of do. I kind of do. Basically, so the first time we bought her, right? We told her, hey, Yolina, put the special pillow we bought you for the car ride. She's like, which one, daddy? And I'm like, well, the blue one, because it's blue. And
Mm.
I gotta get my prop here. Fucking feel like Carrot Top now. And fucking shit. Um, basically, I told her put it on your head, right? So it's like this, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
oval ish. And then we're like, put it on your head. She's like, okay. And I was like, no, no, not on top of your head, like on the neck area. And then she's like, no, the other way. And then she's like, what? So it took her like 4 or 5 tries to be like, oh, like this. And then she's like, yeah, I don't like it. I'm like, but your head's not going to fall to the side. She's not like, but I can't see my tablet. And I was like, oh, God. Oh, my God. That was the funniest shit ever, dude.
Fucking tablets. Oh my god.
Dude. I want to talk about that with you, Pete. Tablets, yay or nay? Like, yeah, it comes in handy certain times when they're trying to do like art. Cause my
Yeah.
one of my kids likes puzzles, and she'll do puzzles on the tablet that she has. And then there's other times where she's just glued on it to like where she's like either
They're,
watching.
they okay. So I see the importance of them for when you have multiple kids because it really
Yeah,
does come in handy for when I have all 3 kids,
yeah,
which is usually every weekend. The biggest problem that I have with it is that I have to take it away from my kids because they'll be like glued to it. So like my son, it's his iPad. My daughter, it's the Nintendo Switch.
yeah.
With the little one, he started getting into the iPad. So like we had
Uh,
we had a spare iPad laying around. It was my baby mama's,
uh,
and she gave it to him, and so he watches like YouTube videos. So he's watching like the informational ones for like 3-year-olds. So he's like ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and colors and
oh,
stuff.
I thought you were gonna be like Cocomelon. Bum, ba-da, bum, bum.
No,
No, all
no.
right.
So he's it's actually really helped him really like word association and ABCs numbers and stuff like that. So we're like, oh, that's really great.
Yeah.
Like other times he's like glued to that thing, so we have to like make it seem like the iPad died. So like
Mm,
hold the power button down, turn it off, and then he'll try to turn it on, and it won't come back on because all he does is push the center button, and it
yeah.
won't come on. It's like, oh, it died. It's like, oh no. And then we'll go outside and do something. So
Yeah.
he's easy. Getting my oldest and my daughter to get off of their things, it's like, hey, I'll snatch it away from them, or I'll be like, hey, you guys need to go outside. Like, you guys can't just be in here all the time playing on your electronics. Like, we need to go outside. Like, let's
Yeah.
go. So, like, the last two times they've been here, we just been outside. Since spring is right around the corner,
Yep.
really enjoying the outside. We're having like a picnic for dinner. Them playing on the trampoline, going outside,
Yep.
all that stuff, dude. Like I try to get them off of it as much as I can. So yeah.
Yeah. Tablets do
Oh,
help. Tablets do help.
yes, they on long car rides they save lives. Trust
Hmm.
me,
Yeah.
they really help. Um, it's just for like common everyday use. Sometimes yes, but
Yeah.
if it comes down to it, and that kids need to go outside, kids need to do something else, rather than just always electronics.
Yep.
Because like they'll literally be like fucking glued to it, and it's just it's bad. It's really really bad.
Do you think there's a certain? I feel like it's kind of like a hill, where it's like, okay, the when it's like low, it's like, okay, it's good for the kids, and then once they get a certain age, they're too
Mhm.
attached to it. So there's like the peak where it's like, okay, this is too much. We gotta bring it down, and
So
then
for between me and my baby mama, we've talked about it, especially with our oldest. Like he loves technology. He's always loved technology.
yeah.
And, whether it be Xbox, computer, or PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, or anything like that, he loves
Hmm.
electronics.
Yeah.
And I've always tried to make it to where when he comes over, we go outside. Like I understand, we can watch the animes that we watch together. That's awesome. That's great. You can
Hmm.
spend a little time on the iPad, but eventually we are going outside, dude. Like, and he knows that. He's been raised on it for 11 years now.
Yeah.
And my daughter, on the other hand, she's the hard one. Like, she will stay freaking glued to that thing, dude. And I had to force her to go outside.
She's like, I'm not going anywhere.
It's like, I want to play Fortnite. Yeah. So, that type of shit. And like, I have to take it away from her. I'm like, hey, no, you need to go outside.
Yeah.
Like, you need to stop playing this damn thing and go outside. Like, I understand you love Fortnite. I get it. That's awesome. Okay, do
Hmm.
that when you're at home. Okay, you get home from school, you want to play some Fortnite after you're done with your homework, by all means. But when you're with me, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna go do some shit. So
Yeah.
yeah. But rainy days come in really handy. Long trips they come in really handy. Uh, freaking what's another one?
Oh,
Um,
the when the winter and the power went out, did your kids use tablets?
no, okay, so my kids weren't with me in the winter when the
Okay.
power went out. They were
Okay.
with their mom.
Yeah.
They had power most of the time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so like the only thing that fucked up on them was the water. So like they're because they live in Greenville, so like their water systems was one of the first ones to go out.
Uh
So
huh.
like my baby mama was like boiling water. Um,
Oh
their
shit.
power was like in and out, but it would come on more than hours. So it was like it's on for an hour, or it cuts off for 5 minutes, comes back on, goes back off, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Uh, but for us, it was like 4 days, 1 hour. Like 4 days, we got like 1 hour of power, and it was like fucking sucks.
That does suck.
Like, we live in the bigger city, so
Mm.
that's the problem.
No, my kids used the tablets when the winter came or the
Hmm.
freaking snow came,
Hmm.
and
Most of the time, they're still outside. I still like them to go outside when it's cold.
mhm.
Um, of course, they wear jackets and gloves and all that stuff. But like,
Yeah.
if I would have had them when the winter storm happened, we would have been outside most of the time, just playing in the snow and
Yeah.
doing dumb shit. But
Well, where I was, there was no snow.
well,
That's
I
why
mean,
when it's different. Yeah.
yeah, it's very different.
Mhm. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to mention in the car as well is the power of selecting the right music.
Mm.
Have you ever gone on a car drive with your kids and then they're like, "Oh, put a song or whatever," and it's like a song that they like or the song that they hate.
Hmm.
It's happened to us. Like when we
So
go to these long drives, if we put the wrong song, or if we put a song that they really don't like,
mhm.
they're all pissed off. They're like, we don't like that song, or it's too loud, it's annoying. We're like, it's our we like that. Mom and Daddy like that song. It's not your time, it's our time.
Yeah, with my kids, the most I'll drive is like maybe an hour with them.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes Greenville and stuff like that. Um, Most of the time I'm just usually just playing Steven Universe. Right now the radio in my car doesn't work, so we don't play anything. But when it was working, I would just play Steven Universe, dude. They fucking love Steven Universe. Uh, my son would love the songs too. Um, the little one had a phase where he was into K-pop, and it was fucking annoying. Like that was
K-pop.
the K-pop, Korean pop music.
Yeah, no, I know what it is. I know what it is,
Okay,
but I'm just like,
I'm not explain. I'm really not explaining it for you. I'm explaining it for the audience
oh,
because
okay.
I forgot to explain it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, he was into K-pop, and it was the weirdest shit, dude. And it was because his mom was like nonstop listening to it, so he got into it, and so like that was the only thing that would like make him calm down. So he was
Okay.
listening to like those boy bands or whatever from Korea.
Okay.
I can't remember what they're called, but it was the funniest shit, dude.
No one
Like
knows.
I used to know the names of them because I would play it every now and then to calm him down.
Whatever, Pete.
But
You
I
listen
would
to
hate the
that.
songs. I fucking hate those songs, dude. I hate them so much. It was the bane of my existence for like a year, dude. Um, my baby mama joked around about it, but she was like, "Oh, I had to wean him off of it because he was like listening to it all day, and then
Yeah.
like she's like, no, I needed to stop because like it started getting annoying. So yeah, we had to we had to wean him off. Thankfully now he doesn't listen to it anymore, but he likes Steven Universe too. So oh no, I am not an undercover K-pop fanboy. Hell, hell no, dude. I'm just what happened? Dog came in.
The what?
Dog came in.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. So, dude, the K-pop phase was hard. Steven Universe one was easy because I would watch Steven Universe with them,
Yeah.
and I actually got into it with them because like I would always hear good things about that show because
Mhm.
it was a cartoon on Cartoon Network,
Uh huh.
and and I got into it with them, and I was watching it, and then I was like, damn, this show's actually really fucking good. Holy shit! So I'm watching it, and like, there's a lot of adult themes in there, and you're
Yeah.
like, damn, this is a kid show. What the hell? And of course, they do the whole singing thing, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. They like the songs. That's great. And they love the song. Even now, they still love the song. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll listen to them with you. Shit.
Steven Universe, dude. That's a show that a lot of kids like. My kid for somehow found that my oldest one found that
Mm.
show, and she would watch like not all the time, but she would watch like YouTube music videos,
Yeah.
but like about kids shows like Sesame Street and all that other stuff, Coco Melon and all that other YouTube shows. If
Yeah.
somehow she discovered Steven Universe, and she liked one of the songs. It's about, you probably might know. It's like about
Them all.
it was like about this clown looking character. It was like pink and it had like a heart and it was like sad. It was like a sad song. And then like her mom comes or like her dad comes and then like it's like they go away.
Oh,
Drift away or something like that. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Drifting away. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I was like, "What are you listening to?" She's like, "I like it, daddy." And I'm like, "No, it sounds sad. Turn it off." And she's like, "Oh man, okay."
Yeah. It's,
Uh,
God damn. Um, it's, that's from the Steven Universe movie. Like I said, I've watched all of it with my kids, and
yeah.
it's actually one of the things that like got me closer to my kids because like
Hmm.
I didn't know what they liked at the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I got my son into Godzilla, and then my daughter was like in and out of different things that she was liking.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get something that we could all watch together, and then come to
Yeah.
find out they were watching Steven Universe, and I was like, okay, well, I'll watch it with them.
Hmm.
And sure enough, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And
Is it a
my
long
buddy
show?
Tony,
Like several seasons?
um, the first part of Steven Universe is like three or four seasons.
Okay.
And then there's a movie, and then there's Steven Universe Future, which is like 10 to 12 episodes. That's like the last season. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's not that long. The episodes are maybe like
Hmm.
20 minutes long, if not shorter.
Yeah.
Um, but it's really good, dude. It's really really good. The first season's kind of like throwaway because they weren't really headed in a general direction. But then season 2 comes on, and oh, there's an actual story. Holy shit! And then it goes from there. So
Hmm.
I highly recommend it. That show made me feel things. Made me really
Whoa.
sad at the end. I know, like
Whoa.
things, like sad things.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude. Like shit that I hadn't dealt with. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Do you? Here's a little theory. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one because it doesn't seem it seems pretty obvious. But do you feel like when people who make the kid shows or like semi kids, like when they're like in their fifth, sixth grade, around that area, like
Mm.
SpongeBob, where they write the shows in adults' head and mind, so they put certain adult jokes in there, but not
I
so
think
easily that the kids will figure it out.
I think they used to, but not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just because people have become a lot more culturally aware, that they'll actually call these things out. So I think they
Yeah.
stopped doing it. But yeah, like I mean, we can use SpongeBob for example. There's like several jokes in there that are like, if you're an adult and you hear it, you're like, ah, I get it, I get
Yeah,
it.
and sometimes
But
they're not even dirty. They're like they talk about taxes or something like that, and you're like,
yeah,
"There's no way a kid's gonna get this joke."
yeah, or like the handsome Squidward joke, like fucking hilarious. Um, it's I don't, if it's like like doing your taxes or something like that, I get it.
Yeah.
I think they do it because like some parents have to hear it in the background or watch it with their kids so many times
Uh huh.
that if it didn't have those things where you're like kind of laughing at it,
Uh huh.
it would drive you insane. Like I can't tell you how many times I had to watch fucking Elmo on Sesame Street and it was driving me insane. Versus like watching SpongeBob with my kids and I'm fucking dying laughing and shit because like Patrick is fucking retarded and SpongeBob fucking funny. So
Yeah, and the
yeah.
whole some people overanalyze the show because they're saying like that SpongeBob has like the seven deadly sins on it. You know,
Oh
like
yeah.
greed, sloth, envy, and all that stuff. And I'm like,
Do you,
oh,
do you think that's bad? There's a whole theory behind like old kid shows like um Ed, Ed and Eddie.
uh huh.
Supposedly it's a play on purgatory. So
Okay,
like supposedly the cul-de-sac is purgatory, right? And that
okay.
each kid comes from a different era. So like Ralph was from like the 50s and then
Mm.
different kids were like from different eras and then like they all ended up in purgatory. So it was like what the fuck?
So that's why it's like a really big mixed bag of characters in there
Yes.
because
Supposedly.
yeah,
Supposedly, I don't know if it's actually true, but yeah, it's fucking crazy, honestly. The
yeah.
theories that they come up with. Some of them are actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like the whole Ed and Eddie one was actually really good.
Do you remember the show Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Oh, I fucking love that show. That show was great.
Yeah, yeah, that show was great. They missed their chance to make a movie, a live action movie out of that show, like 10 years ago.
They could have. They could have. Yeah.
Someone has suggested Betty White and Clint Eastwood to be. Dude, that would have worked 10 years ago.
God.
Betty White's too old now; she can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, who are they gonna get? Melissa McCarthy?
How old is she now?
Who?
Is
Betty
she
White?
like 90? She's like 90 or 100.
Betty White? Yeah, she's freaking old, dude.
Oh, dude. Known
Let's see.
fact. It's actually proven.
Uh-huh.
Betty White is older than sliced bread.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Legit. Legit. Look it up. Betty
Betty
White
White.
is
Oh, what
sliced
the
bread.
fuck? Betty White's 99.
There you go. Look it up. Betty White is older than sliced bread.
Damn, this chick's all the 30s, 40s, 50s.
Mhm.
Damn. Let me
Dude, she
see.
was old in fucking Golden Girls.
White bread, you said?
No, no, no. That sliced bread.
Sliced bread. Okay, when was sliced bread invented? Okay. No. Oh wait, what the fuck? She
Yeah, dude.
is older than sliced bread. It was invented in 1928.
Yep.
Six
She was born in
years.
1920.
She was 6 years old. That
Yep.
means for 6 years, Betty White was all like, "How come these motherfuckers don't slice this bread?"
I think you had to like slice it on your own, dude.
What
So you would
the?
buy like a loaf of bread and you would cut it at home, versus it coming already cut. So yeah, so Betty White is literally older than sliced bread.
Oh
I used to hear
yes.
this all the time.
Someone said Cat and Dog and Ren and Stimpy. Cat and Dog was my shit. I remember watching it.
Ren Stimpy was dirty as hell.
Ren and Stimpy was dirty as hell.
That show was dirty as hell, dude. It was bad, dude. Like there was no reason for that to.
Yeah.
God, Ren and Stimpy was so bad.
Dude, what the fuck? Betty White was born January 17, 1922. So, a couple of days back, she would have been born in 1921, even older. But she wasn't born in 22.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, she's 99.
Yeah,
What the
she's getting up
fuck?
there, dude. She will outlive us all. And Betty White is immortal. They had this. There's this meme of Betty White and she's a Jedi, and then the rest of the Golden Girls that have already died are like four spirits.
Uh huh.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. It's god damn.
The fuck?
Fucking love Betty White memes.
How old is the Queen of England? Let me see here.
Not as old as Betty White. God damn it. One of our listeners is like, bro, if I make it to 99, just blow my brains out. God damn, dude.
She's 101. So Betty
Really?
White's hey Betty White's on her ass. She's on her 2 years. 2
Really? The Queen
years.
is 101?
101 of England right now. Yeah, 101.
The fuck?
Yep.
Must be all that gold they stole from Africa. It's keeping her young.
Oh shit. Here we go with the conspiracy theories.
It's not a fucking conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
That really happened.
Well, it did, but
It really
I don't. Okay, it really happened, but I don't think the gold actually made him live longer. That's the conspiracy.
Oh no.
That's what I meant,
Yeah.
dude. 101.
I don't know, dude.
This may sound
I
fucked up, but how do you piss at that point? Like, just like,
I think everything's pretty much the same. It's not like she's bedridden or anything. She just gets up and goes to pee. But if you were like sick and 101, then that I can understand. Like, how the fuck do you pee? Um, but if it's like she's still walking around, still doing, the Queen's wave or whatever, she's still riding around doing her thing, then by all means, 101, cool.
the Queen of England wants to know your location.
Oh God, she's listening.
God damn! Just hot tea gets poured on me right now. Ah,
God save the Queen.
jasmine tea. Ah, damn.
You ever had an actual British cup of tea?
No, I have not. I always wanted to.
Yeah,
I have
I have.
not.
It's actually really delicious. It's
Where,
yes, it
where
is
the,
really really nice. I've had it 3 times.
where'd you go?
It was here in Dallas.
Okay.
I actually had 3 different customers who were from England, and one of them was an Indian dude, and he was talking about missing the UK and stuff like that. And I was like, you wouldn't by chance know how to make a proper cup of tea? He's like, do I? I was like, I would love to try it. And he's like, you've never had a proper cup of tea? Oh my God. And then he goes and makes me a cup of tea.
Okay. When you told him that, was he like the vegans where like they can't wait to tell you they're vegan, where they're
No.
just like itching
So
to
he was,
tell
he
you?
was super, no, he was super cool, super educated. It was weird because like he's Indian, but he's British Indian. So like, he looks like an Indian, but he's not like,
Freddie Mercury
uh,
style. Yeah, yeah.
kind of. Yeah, yes, basically.
Yeah,
So,
that's what he is.
you expect a certain a certain accent that didn't come. It was just all British, but he was like very well educated and stuff, and made me a cup of tea, and he showed me how to do it. You put a little bit of honey in there, maybe a couple cubes of sugar.
Sometimes they put milk.
Sometimes they put milk. He
Yeah.
put a little bit of milk, and I tried it, and it was great, dude. It was like a very very toned down cup of coffee, very very toned down.
Uh huh.
Um, it's completely different. You don't taste the coffee grind stuff like that, but it was really good. It was really really good.
Someone saying it's black tea. I thought it was green tea. Maybe
No,
my
it's not. No, it's not green
my
tea. Jesus Christ.
maybe I guess my uncultured ass doesn't know that they use
Yeah.
black tea.
It is black tea, but
Uh-huh.
there's different types of it. Um,
Yeah, I
but
know.
yeah, it's the second one that I had was the best one I've ever had.
Yeah.
Um, this lady had just moved from the UK, so she had like all the supplies that she needed.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like literally unpacking. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make me a cup of tea,"
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh my god, can I have one? I haven't had one in so long." And she's like, "Oh my god, aren't you from Texas?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from Texas, but like, I've only had a cup of tea one time, and I would love to try it again."
I thought you were gonna be like,
She's
"Bitch, I'm cultured."
she's like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll make you one." And again, she did the whole sugar and everything and stuff, and then put it in for me, and that was the most amazing cup of tea I've ever had. Like,
Damn. So you're
so
saying
fucking
that chick beat that other dude?
yes, hands down.
Damn.
Because like he had lived in the United States for a while, so he didn't have all the supplies that
Mm-hmm.
she had just moving from the UK to here.
Mm-hmm.
So she had all basically she had it all fresh, basically. So it was all ready to go, basically. But if you ever get the chance, you should try it. It's really, really good.
Well, I like sweet tea, like brewed sweet tea. I know it's
Nothing like
different. Oh no, I know. I'm saying, but I'm saying like, you know how there's people that are like, I like iced tea. I don't like brew tea. You know what I'm talking about? So
yeah.
yeah, I like the taste of brewed stuff. So I'm pretty sure I will like it.
Um. So the first one was packaged. The second one was loose tea. So I think
Um,
that's what made it a lot better. The first one was like in a tea bag,
yeah.
and then the second one was actually like actual, loose tea. So
She went out in the fucking
which
forest and was like picking the fucking
no,
leaves and
no,
shit.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, she like filtered it, got rid of all the loose tea and stuff like that. But it was so
Mhm.
good, so good. But
Oh,
yeah, dude, I highly recommend it. Dude. If you ever get the chance, definitely try it.
I mean, I'll give it a shot. I don't know if I'm gonna like it though.
You never know, dude. I mean, I had never tried it. I loved it, and I wish
Hmm.
I knew how to make it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I should figure out how to do that though. I'd be
Tea.
the only person in Texas, the only Texan drinking a spot of tea.
Tea time. Tea time.
Tea time. Everybody's there with sweet tea, and I'm there with a little cup of
Mm,
tea.
yeah. Come on over. Yeah, you got like the fucking the what they call them biscuits and shit. You got the
Supposedly those are the best with it, dude.
yeah.
Like the biscuits, you're supposed to like dip them in the tea, and
Yeah.
then like I don't know, dude. There's a whole thing.
Oh, did you see the comments? Okay, little backstory. Pete lives in an area where there's no HEB. He lives in Texas, but for some reason he lives in an area where there's no HEB, and the nearest HEB is like what you said, an hour, right? Like
45 minutes.
45 minutes, right? So with traffic, you might add like 5 minutes. So basically 50 minutes. So Pete would have to drive 50 minutes to get to the nearest HEB, and then he can actually
Yeah.
experience it.
So okay, so that's why I keep putting on Facebook like
Mm.
y'all are talking about a fucking cartoon skunk and a cartoon mouse, but like all I want is a fucking HEB in Dallas, like for the
Yeah.
love of God.
Dude, I fuck with Pete so many times because I'll call him and be like, hey man, how's it going? And they're like, hey, this and that. And he's like, dude, I hear something. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm at HEB. He's all like, man, I wish I could have HEB.
Dude.
Uh,
Every time I go down to the valley, I used to go like once a year, and then started going to San Antonio instead, and I would meet up with Jaime. And at some time during that trip, we had to make a trip to HEB because I had to pick up some tortillas or some of those HEB sodas or stuff that you
yeah.
can only find at HEB, and then I would take it back home with me. So like it was a godsend when I found one. It was a godsend when I found one in Waxahachie because I was doing an install out there, and then this lady hands me an HEB soda. She's like, "Hey, are you thirsty?" And then she hands me a soda, and I'm like,
It's like a
"The
tear came
fuck?"
out or what?
I'm like, "The fuck? Where'd you get this from?" I'm like in San Antonio or something. She's like, "Oh no, it's right down the street." I'm like, "You're fucking lying." And she's like, "No, no, just look it up." And I looked it up on Google. I'm like, "Son of a bitch." So I finished out the install and I fucking went to HEB and yeah, dude, it was great. I almost cried. But it's I
Uh,
used to do it where I used to go like once or twice a month and I used to
mhm,
stock up on stuff that I really fucking miss. Like even the fucking corn tortillas from HEB are fucking better than the fucking shit you find here.
mhm.
Uh, or like the fresh made flour tortillas that they make at HEB when
Yeah.
they package them. They're so fucking good.
So not all places do that. Just so you know,
Yep.
the that they make the flour tortillas fresh there. Yeah, because our HEB, the closest one that we have, does not make it.
Uh,
Yeah, so it's all right.
ah, that hurts, man. That
There's another
hurts.
brand that only HEB carries that has decent flour tortillas.
hmm
Yeah.
The closest thing we have up here is a grocery store called Fiesta.
Mhm.
That's the closest thing you'll get to HEB.
Cause you got what, Walmart, you got Kroger, right?
We got Walmart, Kroger, Minyards, but they've slowly faded away.
Uh huh.
Um, we used to have Carnival, which was kind of like Fiesta,
Okay.
but those went out of business. So now it's like Fiesta, Neighborhood Walmart, Walmart, um, Target, and
Okay.
Kroger.
Okay.
Those are
I,
the
n-
main ones.
I never looked into it, but what the fuck is the difference between Walmart and neighborhood
Albertsons.
Walmart?
Oh yeah, and Albertsons.
Oh.
Albertsons is yeah. So okay, so the difference between neighborhood Walmart and Walmart is a neighborhood Walmart is strictly a grocery store. They carry some stuff that you might need like diapers and cosmetics and stuff like that or some cold medicine, but mostly if you're looking for that big stuff, you go to Walmart. If you're looking for like a local grocery store, neighborhood Walmart.
So it's
So yeah,
basically their version of HEB.
it's their version of a Kroger.
Okay. Because HEB is kind of
Yeah.
like that. It's mostly food, and then they
Yeah.
have like very little, like one aisle of like everything baby related, and that's it. Like one aisle.
Yeah, it's because like it's a little bit more than HEB just because
Okay.
it has they have a shitty freaking Hispanic section, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But it's like there's a few extra things in the back more than
Yeah.
HEB. Um, but if I had to choose between either one, I'd choose HEB every single time.
Yeah. You recently missed they had some limited edition HEB sodas. So basically they were trying to mimic the Mexican sodas. And one of them I can say they mimicked it very, very well to a point where I think they almost stole the recipe. It was called Apple Crisps soda. And it's basically tasted like manzanita sol from Mexico.
Oh no.
Yeah, my girl tried it. She's all like, "This tastes like this," and I'm like, "Yeah, it almost
Mhm.
tastes like the same." Like
But
they got
okay,
real
so are you
close.
talking about Manzanita Sol or are you talking about the Mexican in the bottle apple
Yeah,
soda?
yeah, like that, like
Oh,
from
the Hoya.
Mexico. Yeah,
The Hoya
they,
or what?
yeah. They even use cane sugar, like how they use over there.
Man, dude.
Yep.
My grandfather, what he used to do, he used to go to over the border, like every other weekend. He
Yeah,
used to bring like a case of sodas. So like you'd get the Mexican Sprite, you get the Mexican Coke, you get the Mexican like the soda de toronja, and then we used to get the apple soda. Um,
yeah.
dude, it was so fucking good, dude. It was
Dude,
so good. Even
dude,
even Fanta down there is fucking better.
yeah. Dude,
Fucking crazy.
dude, you can tell we're such fat asses that we spent more time talking about food than anything else, dude.
No, we spent more time talking about doo doo.
No. What? What? No.
We spent like 30 minutes. We spent like
Look.
30 minutes
I
talking
can
about
tell
doo
you
doo.
right away. Someone can fucking put it in the chat that they guarantee you they've heard us talk more about HEB and
Oh,
food.
okay. You mean on this episode or throughout the entire
No,
episodes?
this episode,
Oh,
obviously. Yeah.
no, I still think it's doo doo. I'm gonna
Mm.
have to go with doo doo. But yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
miss.
gonna. So everybody who's listening, prepare for a 180, completely 180.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you a question, and I feel like this is gonna be more of a serious tone.
Mm.
But I
Sorry,
really
going.
want to know. But I really want to know what you think about this. So
Honestly, we
basic.
talked about you anymore.
Oh, it's about shit.
Somebody just put it on.
Fucking
Yeah.
liar. See, that's Brenda, one of the other people that I still talk to from high school.
Oh yeah.
Um,
She was a guess.
yeah. Okay, Pete. So basically, someone had come with me with a concern.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're like, "Hey, man, what do you think about um, I don't want to say it wrong because in the PC culture, but I'm just gonna say it, and I don't mean it the wrong way. But basically, it's all like, "Hey, man, what do you think about all this? What of all these like gay and transgender people? How they're making it? How they're making it towards the schools?" And I'm like, well, "What are you talking about?" Okay, so this friend that has a kid in school, in
Mm-hmm.
elementary, she's like in second or third grade, right?
Okay. So,
Eh,
okay, quick question.
Yeah.
Do you mean how they're being taught in school, or do you mean the whole sports controversy going on right now?
How that well let me go ahead and explain what he said. So basically I was like, okay, well, what do you mean? And he told me, he's like, it's because I heard, and I think it's going this way, that they're going to start teaching kids that there's more than one sex, more than just male and female, that that it's okay to be that it's okay to be gay, or it's okay to, if you think you're a boy but you're physically a girl, to
Mm-hmm.
be a boy or whatever like that. And I told him I find no issue with that, as in like I don't think it's gonna go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna go to where they're gonna be start teaching them like strictly on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a whole big thing between me and him. He completely disagreed with me, which is like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He asked for my opinion and somehow turned into an argument, and I told him like, at a certain point, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, you asked for my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, that's fine, but I'm not telling you it's the truth. I'm just you asked for my opinion.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, why is this turning into a freaking who's right or who's wrong? Like, I don't understand. But
Yeah.
but basically, I want to know your thoughts about. Do you think it's okay for them to start teaching that you can be a girl even though you're a boy, or vice versa, or it's okay to be gay and shit
Uh,
like that? Do you think it's okay?
I've had this conversation with my baby mama.
Uh huh.
Actually, we were talking about like you get the typical question like, "Oh, what would you do if our son was gay?" Or "What would you do if if our daughter was gay?" Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I told her, I would love them regardless. I don't care. I don't care if my son is gay. I don't care if my daughter's gay. I don't care. I want
Yeah.
them to know that I love them no matter what. Like, I want them to be able to be like, not because unfortunately, I had a friend who went through that, and dad basically kicked him out and hasn't talked to him since. And
Okay.
this is he came out in high school.
Yeah.
So, like, dude, his dad has not heard from him since high school. Like, he completely kicked him out, and it was just bad.
Yeah.
And I never want my kids to go through that. I don't ever
Yep.
want them to feel like I didn't care, or like, how do I put it? Like, I would hope that as a father, I would see the signs of my kids being that way,
Yeah.
of them being gay, or or they don't feel like they're themselves trapped in a body kind of thing. Um, but as far as like schools teaching these things,
Mhm.
I've always been proactive about teaching my kids. Yeah, like even with history, like my kids will
Yeah.
tell me like, "Oh, we learned about the Civil War. Oh, we learned about this," and I was like, "Okay, well, have you learned about the Trail of Tears? Have you heard about the Battle of Wounded Knee? Have you heard about?"
Well, bro, third elementary. What do you mean?
No, 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 no. My son's in 5th grade.
Still,
My
that's
son's in 5th grade.
elementary. What do you mean?
Hold on, and he's next year he's starting middle school. So I'm like,
Okay.
hey, how much are they teaching you? How much have they taught you? Because like, you hear about all these history books that are removing stuff like
Oh yeah.
things things that belong in a history book.
Yeah.
And like, they're keeping the Louisiana Purchase. We're keeping this, but like, they're not telling you about the mass genocide that they did on freaking Native Americans,
Yeah.
because they don't want you to know that about. They don't want you to know about that anymore.
Mhm.
So history is written by the victor.
Yep.
They're slowly doing away with the things that America doesn't want people to know. So like if they're teaching these things in school, I'm going to be proactive about like, hey, look, this is what that means. This is what's going on, and this is why they're telling you this.
Yeah.
But the only gripe that I have is sports. I don't think that it's fair
Yeah.
for a transgender kid
Mm-hmm.
to be competing with you know with kids that were born male or female. For one, if you're a boy and you transition into a girl and you're competing against other, you know, naturally born girls, you have a distinct advantage.
Yes,
And
that's
there is no ifs, ands, or buts
yeah,
about it. You
yeah,
have an advantage. Um,
yeah,
if it's the other way around, then good luck.
yeah.
You know, a girl transitioning to a boy, because good luck.
Okay.
Because however much time you had with testosterone in your body
Yeah.
is nowhere near as long as these boys have had testosterone in their body.
Side question, real quick, Pete. What do you think you would tell your kid, whether it's the the girl one or the boy one, that if that they want to transition? Would you tell them about, hey, if you transition, you're not gonna be able to play certain sports? Like, are you
Okay,
gonna tell them
so
that, or are you just gonna be like, yeah, go ahead? Like,
okay, so we had a little bit of this conversation before. If they felt that way, like, hey, I'm a, you know, I'm a boy trapped in a girl's body, or I'm a girl trapped in a boy's body, I would tell them, look, live your life a little bit longer, learn some more things, and then once you're old enough to make that decision on your own, by all means.
yeah,
If you're like 21, 22, or whatever age you decide, then by all means, you've lived your life enough to know that, hey, this is not a phase. This is who I am. This is what I want to do, and I'm going to move forward with it. By all means, I will support you the entire way. But if
mm-hmm.
it's like 13 or 14, it's like just wait.
Yeah,
Just live your life a little bit more and then figure it out. But,
uh,
if it's like if I had to be put in that situation, I would tell them, look, there are distinct advantages, especially if it was my son transitioning. I would be like, look, there
yeah,
are distinct advantages that you're going to have over these girls.
yeah.
Damn, there's a goddamn thunderstorm going on. Son of a
I
bitch.
know. I heard that shit, dude. I was like, what the fuck?
So
Yeah.
I would tell them, like, look, I would tell my son who's transitioning, like, look, you're gonna have a very distinct advantage over
Yeah.
these girls if you compete against them, and you are gonna mop the floor with them. That's not okay. There's no sportsmanship. There's no even if you get first place and you get that trophy, you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have earned it. None of it would have been earned. Now, if you're competing against other boys, then yes, you can say that I earned this. I worked for this, because you're competing against other people who are on the same level as you. Now, if my daughter wanted to do that, it'd be the same thing but reversed. Like, hey, you're gonna get mopped on the floor, basically.
Yep.
Like there's no amount of time
Mm-hmm.
enough for you to have testosterone, because testosterone is the key thing here. Those boys have had years of testosterone, years, and that's what makes them bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah.
A girl transitioning, having a few months or a year with testosterone,
Mm-hmm.
is never going to compare
It's
to these boys who have been.
yeah.
Go ahead.
This kind of reminds me of like freaking nerd over here, but this kind of reminds me of like My Hero Academia, when like the
Hmm.
main protagonist is like gets this power out of nowhere, and he's kind of like, oh shit, I don't know how to control it, and yet everybody else has had it naturally, has learned to develop their power. You know what I mean? Knows how to use
See
it to a
that?
certain extent, and it's same thing as the testosterone. A person that's only had it for like a year or less than a year is not gonna be able to know how to use it properly, or even be on the
True.
same level as someone who's naturally had it the whole time.
Yeah, very, very true. It's it's a difficult subject, but the facts are facts. You literally have the facts right in front of you.
Yep.
Boys are built differently than girls, and not to say that women can't do what men can do. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they can, but not to the extent that men can do. Men were meant to carry heavy shit and move with heavy shit and do these rigorous things,
Yeah.
whereas women can train up until that point, but they can only get so far,
Yeah.
because their body, of course, produces a certain amount of testosterone
Yeah.
and more estrogen, and
Yeah.
that's the key factor here, is hormones.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're making the transition, you have to take hormones.
Yep.
That's why I'm speaking scientifically.
Yep.
Hormones.
Yep.
So, I
Another
mean,
another thing that a lot of people don't look at when they talk about that, yeah, they talk about whether it's the laws or society or whatever. Nobody really
Hmm.
talks about the money, and people are like wondering like, what the fuck are you talking about? The money meaning like all these, whether they get operations or the testosterone, none of that shit's free. The government's not gonna
Oh,
help you. You know what I mean? Like getting all this shit, you have to buy yourself. So nobody really talks about like uh, the poor people, low income people that wanna either transition or can't transition because they cannot afford that. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it would be. I don't think it's even a thought for them because they know how expensive it is.
yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, it's because some people say, "Oh, everybody's gonna start being like this." It's like not everybody, not
not
everybody can afford it.
hell, you have people who can't even afford their fucking insulin for their diabetes. Like, what
That's
makes you think they're
fucked up.
going to be able to afford? It's like, what makes you think they're going to be able to afford fucking testosterone shots? Like, come on. It's like, I get it. You know, there's a transition in society that's going on right now. That's shifting from one paradigm to another, and you got to really understand that this paradigm shift was happening for a long time that people weren't paying attention to. You know, you
Hmm.
got the I mean, come on, dude. It's been in pop culture this entire time. You know, from trannies to the gay community finally being accepted to LGBTQ to all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
been a transition slowly over to this.
Hmm.
But like what what people didn't expect was for the kids to be affected, and that's the hard part that they're not understanding. Is like a lot of these people, and I'm saying people just in a broad horizon because I'm gonna get tired of saying LGBTQ over and
How
over again.
dare you, Pete? Fuck you. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. So these people have known who they are from a very young age.
Yep.
Some of them waited, some of them discovered who they were later on, and then some of them, grew into it, or some of them were born this way, and that's okay, But like, I'm not one to sit here and say, "Hey, you can't be who you want to be, even though you feel who you are." And some people make that argument like, "Oh, you want people to accept you for who you are, but you're not willing to accept yourself for who you are," or whatever, or some stupid argument like that. But it's
Yeah.
like, just let your kids live. Let your kids live as kids. Let them be
Mm.
kids until they're grown enough to make that decision. That's
Hmm.
what I feel.
Okay, but
If,
go.
if
Sorry to cut you off. Going back to the original question, which is, do you think it's okay for them to start teaching it, like teachers, actual teachers, teaching them at a young age in elementary?
depends on what they're teaching them. So like if they're teaching them like, hey, okay, so let's just take Bill Nye the Science Guy for example. His new show that came out on Netflix. He retracted his original answer that he did back in the '90s with the whole Bill Nye Science Guy show. Instead of saying, "Hey, there's two sexes," he's like, "Oh, sex is on a wavelength," and explaining it like that. He's explaining it to where even a kid can understand. Now, if the teacher went into complete fucking detail and be like, "Yeah, you got to take a testosterone shot to be a boy, and then you have to do this," no, I'm not okay with that. If it's like, if you were born this way and you feel this way, then you have to explore that. You have to find out who you are and stuff like that. Then I can understand that. But if it's like, hey, you have to do this to be that,
Yeah.
no, no, no. And especially like, I feel like eventually it's going to become a part of sex ed.
Yeah.
Um, it's going to have to be, just because of the. It's unfortunate to say because like you it's gone down. It's gone down significantly, but like in the gay community, there's a lot of sexually transmitted diseases just
Yeah.
because a lot of them don't wear protection. Yeah, a friend of mine's brother, he's gay, and unfortunately he has HIV, and it's
Oh
because
shit.
he didn't use protection, and it's very prevalent in the gay community, and I feel like that
How long was he sexually active while being gay until he caught it? Like, was it like years or like just like within the
it
first
was a few
year?
years. It was a few years,
Oh
but
shit.
just being monogamous and just being with so many people,
Yeah. Yeah.
just being young and just trying new things and being with new people, that eventually he just, met the wrong person and unfortunately caught HIV. And it sucks, dude, because like you
Damn.
don't wish it upon anyone, but like it sucks, but I do think that part has to become a part of sex ed, and then eventually they will have to incorporate everything else. But like if it's the young kids, no. If it's like young, no. High school, okay, I can understand that. Make it a part of sex.
Middle school?
That's hard because I'm speaking as a teen dad here.
Yeah.
If you took the base sex ed that they had at
Mm-hmm.
the end of middle school,
Yeah.
that they had when we were in high school, and you
Yeah.
put it at the end of middle school,
Yeah.
right before freshman year, I could understand that.
Okay.
Now, if you took like an extended sex ed class where it includes everything else, like the whole LGBTQ and transitioning and all that stuff, and then put it into high school,
Mm-hmm.
then I can understand that. That would be a lot better and a lot more sensible to where people can agree with it. But like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I mean, like you look at teen pregnancies these days, like, and this is coming from a teen father. It's becoming something that we have to teach a lot earlier on.
Sex ed, right? That's what I. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Instead of being like, no, you can't have sex at all, we should
Yeah.
be teaching them how to have safe sex because you can't always stop them.
Yeah.
They're gonna find a way.
Yeah.
They're gonna find a way, whether it's underneath the bleachers or in a car or wherever it is. They're gonna find a way.
Yeah. Let me tell you a quick story, and I don't want people to judge this person. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I don't want people to
Yeah.
judge this person. That basically, this person told me that she didn't know that after you had your period, you were able to have kids.
Okay.
And whether some people might say, well, what's the mom's fault for not telling them, or the parents in general,
Hmm.
or if it's the school for not alerting them sooner. But she didn't know,
Hmm.
so she had sexual intercourse, and well,
One thing led to another, and
the baby came out.
oh, okay.
So I thought when that person told me this, and I'm like, huh. I wonder if it's a parent's fault, or if sex ed should be done sooner so kids know about that.
I think no matter what the situation, the parent is always liable in some
Mm-hmm.
way. It
Yep.
doesn't matter if the kid starts a fire or kid has sex too early. Some of the blame is on the parent, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Whether my kid steals my car and crashes into somebody or starts a forest fire,
Yep.
I'm the parent that's responsible for that kid. I didn't teach them right from wrong enough, and
Mm-hmm.
this happened. Um, that's why. That's one of the reasons why when my daughter, does have that happen to her, we're gonna have the talk with her, and yeah, it's gonna be a scary experience for me, but I'm getting mentally prepared for that because she is getting older, and girls hit
Closer and
puberty.
closer.
Yeah, well, girls hit puberty earlier than boys, so like with my son being 11, he's already getting a little facial hair, little stash going on. His voice is starting to change, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna be an early bloomer. Oh, fuck. And now it's like, now I'm expecting my daughter to be an early bloomer, because girls can start puberty as early as 10. And I'm like, damn it. My daughter's 8. So I'm like, I got 2 years left before this, maybe happens. So, we're basically mentally preparing for that. And, yep, it's going to be, very interesting. But like, I do believe, yes, it is usually the parents that have to take some of the responsibility on this,
Mm-hmm.
just because they should have known that the child had a period and that
Mm-hmm.
that talk would have to come up eventually.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, I feel like in today's society, we really do have to have that talk with kids a lot sooner, but also teach them about safe sex because you can't always stop a kid from having sex.
Yeah,
That's,
that's
that's
true.
just the truth.
Yep.
That's just the truth. They're gonna find a way, whether it be in a
Mm-hmm.
bathroom or back of somebody's car or whatever it is. They're gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Okay, trust me. I know. I'm a teen dad, so
Yeah.
I found ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's you can't. I don't know. I don't know if you can put blame in the schools. I don't know. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's.
I,
I
I
do feel like it should be a thing in the middle school. I do
yeah.
think at the end of middle school, I feel like there should be some degree of some of sex ed,
Mm-hmm.
just because of
Do you think it should be
just
just
because.
one or two?
Mm.
I would say two. I think two would be better. One is like the official, the first one, and then the second one is kind of like a refresher or more advanced or
Oh,
more.
no, no, yes, yes, 2, for sure,
Yeah.
like, 1 at the end of middle school, and then another during high school, but this one is also including, like, safe sex for LGBTQ, safe sex for or,
Hmm.
transgender, stuff like that, including all those things in there, and then giving them a
Yeah.
broader horizon versus just the first one, which is just like, "Hey, wrap your tool," or,
Hmm.
"Hey, go on birth control," or "Talk to your parents about it," stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, things that actually need to be talked about and
What the
just
fuck?
the percentages,
Someone
had
said
sex at
fifth grade. What the fuck?
God damn, you went to a good school. Dude, I didn't have sex ed till freshman year.
He was privileged.
Lucky bastard.
Um, no, I had sex ed in high school.
Yeah, dude. Mine was in freshman year, dude.
Yep.
It was weird because like I was like one of 2 people in that class who hadn't had sex yet.
Hmm.
And it was weird.
What a
And I was like,
fucking loser. No, play Pete.
yeah. And it was mostly like that. I was like, oh, you fucking loser. It's like, the fuck? I didn't know we were
Uh,
supposed to be clapping cheeks this goddamn early. Jeez.
clapping cheeks this early.
Damn.
Someone had said that sometimes kids don't want to hear the birds and the bees talk from their parents. Me and my girl both agreed we're gonna sit them down and be like, "Look at here, you little shit," and like tell them the story or like like exactly explain it to them really well.
God, you
Like,
got like a PowerPoint presentation. Like,
right with the little. I wish I had the sound effect on fucking. I'm ready to go. Like, click click. All right, so Exhibit A. All right. Chingo. Yeah, dude. It's gonna be interesting when I get to that phase, and then also it's gonna be interesting for you when they start going to high school, Pete.
sorry, he put slapping skins
Gee,
as going heels to Jesus.
what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Once they start going to high school, it's gonna be weird, especially for my son, because dude, he's the eldest. So I'm like, fuck, dude. I don't want to fuck it up with my son because like it sucks, but the oldest is always the experimental one, and I hate to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
The oldest the eldest kid in a family is always the experimental one.
Hmm.
So you're like you're trying to get it right the first time, and if you fuck up, you try to do it right with the second one. And then of course you're lighter and lighter until you get to the third one where you're just like,
Hmm.
do whatever the fuck you want. But it's
Hmm.
like I'm trying to set a good example with the first one so that the transition will be easier for when it goes to my daughter to my youngest. Because I don't want to be one of those parents who gets easier and easier towards the end. I want to be a hard ass all the way through,
Yeah.
like all the way through.
Through the
But
whole thing.
through the whole thing, dude, just I I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not. I'm just especially
See.
once he starts liking girls and he's like, you know,
Hmm. Dude, when you get to your daughter and she starts dating, look at Pete already. Pete's already like,
mm-mm,
no, fuck that.
mm-mm.
Where's my gun? Where's my gun? Shit.
What?
What do you
What?
pull it out? Where you pull it out there?
What? I
Oh shit!
had it in my bag.
You had it in your bag. Mm. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. You can show it. It's fine as long as you don't point it at the camera.
What? No, what the fuck?
No, no, no. For real, that's like the rules. That's how it is. That's how it works. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Oh
dude,
shit.
I'm not looking forward to that at all. Hell no. Nope. 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 Because okay, like my biggest fear is that whatever you do unto your parents comes back to you twicefold. I was a fucking asshole. Holy shit. And then
Damn.
including the shit that my baby mama did
Hmm.
is like, God damn it.
Do you
Like,
do you think it'll be easier if she's honest with you, as in like whether you like it or not? She tells you, "Hey, Dad, I'm dating someone," and then it's all like, "What the fuck? I never met him." And she's like, "No, I don't want you to meet him, whatever." But at least she's honest. At least she's telling you about it. Would you prefer it like that, or do you prefer her not telling you at all?
I rather should be honest.
Mm.
I rather should be honest and that either I or her mother would meet him, and I would like to be there. I'm not gonna be an asshole about it, but I am gonna be like, look, dude, you're not gonna get anywhere on this. Like, don't even fucking try to get that far. 'Cause trust me, if it ends up being that you knock up my daughter, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I ain't here to bullshit.
I ain't here to fuck around, kid.
Dude. You can
Oh,
recreate that scene from. Have you ever seen the movie fucking Den of Thieves?
I was gonna do the scene from
Bad Boys.
Boys 2. Yeah, you ever made love to a man before? You want to?
Oh shit.
Uh,
Chinga.
like you look 30.
You look
Shit.
30. Dude, that kid did
Yeah.
look 30. Like, he did look old.
Yeah, the kid looked old as fuck.
I like the fact that they brought him back in the last movie. I don't know if you've ever seen the
They did?
They brought him back. You haven't seen it? Watch it. It's
I haven't
good.
seen it.
It's a good movie.
Oh, I heard it wasn't that good.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
I'll tell you like this: if you would have seen it at the theater, you would probably been a little bit disappointed. If you would have seen it at a theater discounted, you would not be disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that talk, man. I'm not ready. Uh, especially the
Yeah.
boyfriend part. I'm gonna be like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Who?
Is it fucked up? Is it fucked up that I'm more comfortable with her having a girlfriend than a boyfriend? Is that fucked up?
I think
Am I
that's
fucked up for
just.
that?
I think that's just in general because I've had other friends and they've told me that they feel more comfortable.
But, like, you take that equation of her getting being a teen mom out of it because she can't get knocked up by a girl,
Yep.
and you're like, okay, I don't have to worry about
Well,
that part.
yeah.
At least,
Mm-hmm.
you know, unless she's being active with a boy, and it's like, fuck.
Unless they do some crazy shit where they're like, all right, okay, I'll let a boy get me pregnant, and then it's just me and you, baby. That's some crazy shit right there. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit, but I'm not okay with that. No, I'm not okay with that.
Oh shit.
On another note, let's talk about the next episode, man.
Yeah, the next episode, it's gonna be interesting because here's the thing. Here's the thing. The next episode, I have someone that I'm talking to that potentially might come on the podcast. Isn't a for sure thing, so that's why I don't want to say that yes, this person is gonna come on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting one way or another because I've been talking to some other people that potentially are gonna come on, and if
Mhm.
let's say if the first person doesn't come through, I got the second one, and
Mm.
someone's coming on the podcast next Monday. Who is it exactly? We don't know, but I guarantee you it's gonna be interesting because, like I said, the people that I'm talking to have very very good stories that they can talk about, and it's gonna be a good episode. It's gonna be like kind of like Marcus's episode where they had like
Mhm.
some sad stuff, some good stuff, and some oh shit I didn't know about that type of stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, some good
Okay.
information overall.
Hopefully we get the guests that we want. I'm really hoping that we get that first guest because it's one that we've been talking about for a little bit.
Yeah, Pete.
Um,
Yeah, Pete. Me and Pete have been talking obviously, and Pete knows
yeah,
who I'm talking about. Yeah.
yeah, it's a really good informative guest, and we would love to have them on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but that's only if they're okay with it. We're not going to force anybody to come on and tell their
Yeah.
story. Um, but yeah, like it's gonna be, it's one that we've been working on for a while. Even if it doesn't happen now, hopefully
Yeah.
we can hash it out for later on. But it's definitely a guest that we've been
Yeah.
wanting to have for a good minute.
Yeah. And another guest that I want to get on is they haven't reached back to me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But another one that I want to get on is a specialist with kids. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be kind of like more like an information type of episode. So
Mm.
hopefully we can get
Okay.
someone like that.
I know we talked about that for a little bit. But okay.
Yep. But yeah, thank you very much everybody for watching, and we'll be here again next Monday at 7.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Peace.
Thank you everybody for watching. Laters.